If you find your phone slowing down or if you just want to get the most out of your Android smartphone, here are 10 tips and tricks that should help you out. Hey guys, Ash here from C4Retech, and if you do end up liking what you see in this video, please subscribe and turn on notifications by hitting that bell icon. So if you have an older underpowered phone, then there's a good chance that this tip would significantly increase the smoothness of your interface. The first step is to go into Settings, About Device, then scroll down to the build number, tap on it 7 times till this toast notification comes up. Now we have access to developer options. The next step is to go into developer options and from there switch on Force GPU rendering. This option forces the GPU on your phone to render user interface elements instead of the CPU, which means the CPU is now free to do other stuff. While this usually leads to the UI feeling a lot snappier, it does come with a pretty big trade-off with regards to battery life. In many phones, the GPU consumes more power than the CPU, so having GPU rendering turned on can affect battery life in some cases by as much as 15%. So I'll suggest this hack only if you're on a very old phone and the UI is super laggy, or if you've just given up on battery life altogether. If it's an old phone and the battery life isn't really good to begin with and you're anyway carrying around power banks or something, you might as well try this. Now on to tip number 2, another easy way to make Android devices feel snappier. Well, this one's pretty common. Turn down the system animation speed. Doing this is pretty simple. Like before we head into settings, developer options, then scroll down to window animation scale, turn it off or set it to 0.5x. The same for the transition animation scale and even animation duration. Now this has a very minimal effect on battery life, and on slower stock launches the difference in speed, it's pretty noticeable. Now on to tip number 3, with all the talk of battery life, here's one app that can actually help us save some. Automate is a very powerful app that can help conserve battery by turning features on or off depending on the location we're at. Now the reason we picked this over something like Tasker or If This Then That, it is because of the ease of use. We can pick from specific predefined flows or build a customized flow ourselves. The text-based interface of Tasker can be a little daunting to some, and thus Automate's easy to understand flowcharts makes creating automation schedules a tad easier. Now, if you love gesture navigation systems on newer Android versions, but don't have it on your phone yet, well, this tip is for you. Gesture Navigation is an amazing app developed by the folks over at XDA, and the coolest part is that it has a ton of customizations, so we can make sure that the gestures work just like we would want them to. Setting up and using this app can be a tiny bit tricky though. It does require ADB access and all that, which is why if you do want to use this app on your phone, I'd highly recommend checking out a dedicated video on it. There is no root access required, and if you do follow the instructions while installing and uninstalling, the rest of the app, it's perfectly safe and doesn't harm your device in any way. Now with screen sizes continuously increasing, single-handed usage has become progressively more difficult. Well, Circle Sidebar looks to solve that problem by giving us all our apps, shortcuts, and with the Pro version, even quick settings right at our fingertips. The circular dial-like design is very well thought out. We can set it to trigger from any portion of the screen, and the best thing here is that we can set it to be completely invisible, so it doesn't take up any screen real estate whatsoever. Android comes in many skins, with each manufacturer bundling their own apps on their phones. However, these default apps sometimes come bundled with ads or just don't provide the same functionality as other third-party apps. Well, the good thing is that we can change them. Everything from the phone app to the browser can be changed, and we can go into the apps section from settings and set our desired defaults. Let's say if you're on a MIUI device and you miss having an app drawer, then you can download the Poco launcher from the Play Store and use that as your default launcher. If you still want the general theme of MIUI, it even provides some much needed extra functionality. But if you want something stock, you can always go Nova. That's a good idea. Oh, and if you're someone looking to try something new, not the regular Poco or Nova launchers, we have a dedicated video on it. We just made one a few days ago. So go ahead, check that out. Here's a card to it. Okay, for number 7, we have a bunch of tweaks to display settings that we have consolidated into one single tip. Oftentimes, displays consume a lot of battery, so an easy way to getting better battery life is turning off auto brightness and manually adjusting the brightness levels to below 50%. For phones with higher resolution panels, a lot of manufacturers do allow us to scale down the resolution for better battery life. And while the new generation of high refresh rate panels are really nice to look at and interact with, 120Hz or even 90Hz refresh rates can take a toll on battery. So it's better to turn them off if you're looking to extend battery life. Let's say you're gonna travel and you want the best battery life out of your phone possible, tone down the resolution, turn down the refresh rates, and that should help out. Number 8 is another battery saving tip, but this one is aimed more at those Android devices with OLED panels. Other devices can definitely follow suit, but the battery gains won't be as significant. Switching on dark mode can increase battery life a little on your device with an AMOLED panel, since the black areas of the screen, they are turned off completely. For the same reasons, OLED panels can also benefit from having a dark themed wallpaper. As an added bonus, thanks to the high contrast ratios, these kind of wallpapers, they really do pop. If your phone comes with always on display functionality, then turning it off at certain times where you're not really going to be using it, it would help get a little extra out of your device with regards to battery. Now moving on to number 9, we have Live Transcribe. Live Transcribe does exactly what it sounds like. It takes whatever is being said and prints it out on screen. Of course, as an accessibility setting, the primary use case here is to help people with hearing disabilities, but it can be useful in various situations like recording meetings and team discussions where the flow of conversation, it might be interrupted by taking notes in the middle. And finally, finishing off this list, we have Google's autofill service. This is not an Android-only feature, but that's precisely what makes it so amazing. So once a login is saved to your Google account, doesn't matter if you're on a desktop, laptop, a phone, or even a tablet, we can use Google's autofill feature to log in seamlessly with one click across all these devices. Google Autofill remembers so much more than just passwords. It's got names, emails, addresses. Heck, it can even autofill most forms. And as with most consumer-focused Google services, it is free, so turn it on and forget about having to remember passwords ever again. So those are 10 tips. Okay, it's not going to be a C4E video if we don't have a bonus tip, right? And the bonus tip today, it's turning on live caption. Now this is a feature that's currently only available to Pixel devices and Samsung's latest S20 series of flagships, but we hope that it will roll out to multiple devices soon. So live caption captures whatever is being said in a video clip and then captions it on screen. The amazing thing here is that it works with locally stored video. So if you are in a noisy environment and you don't have earphones, you can still use this feature to read on screen whatever is being spoken. This was way too cool a feature. It managed to pick up everything I said from my video, and hey, it's not a native English speaker speaking, right? So it's still pretty accurate. I really like this one, but I didn't include it in the list because it's not applicable to all phones. It's currently limited to a certain few phones, which is why it's the bonus tip. And with that, we get to the end of this video. Hope it helped you discover some cool new ways to get the most out of your Android. As always, let me know what you felt about these tips and tricks in the comments below. And if you did like this video, then go ahead, check out our other video on how to keep your device safe. And also we have another one on what to do in the unfortunate event if your device gets stolen or lost. So check those out, and as of now, thumbs up, thumbs down based on whatever you felt about this video. Subscribe, turn on notifications by hitting that bell icon if you haven't yet. Thanks a lot for watching. Till next time, my name is Ash. You've been watching C4E Tech, and I'm signing off for now. You guys have a great day. Bye-bye.